tearjerker. So has everybody got their hankies? This is a true story, and I'm just going to read this one for you. The name of this is We Buried Lady Bird Today. She was our family's version of man's best friend, and indeed she was. We are not exactly sure of her age, but we were privileged to have her as a family member for 10 years. You see, some insensitive person had thrown her out, and one rainy morning she somehow made her way to our back gate. From her terrible condition, it looked as though a car had hit her, and as we stood by to see her, she could only lie on her side and wag her tail real slowly, but her expressive eyes seemed to communicate her feelings. We noticed how big and fluffy her tail was and how it gently swayed, indicating she was a sweet puppy with a friendly manner. Although she did look a little intimidating, she was a large dog with a shaggy dark brown fur, probably half Australian Shepherd and half German Shepherd. We never did know where she came from. And as we began to determine her condition, my mother was very interested in giving her a bath. And you know those grandma instincts. When the puppy was bathed, she was covered with ticks, and once we removed the ticks, then she was fine. And so after she'd been with us for about a month, we noticed that she was beginning to get fat, and my mother said, "That dog's gonna have puppies." And we said, "Oh no, she's just eating regular again." But guess what? She delivered 12 beautiful puppies. We ran an ad in the Meridian Star and gave them all away in one day, and my mother even took applications, and she made the family pass a test before she'd let them take home a puppy. Now, years went by, and Lady Bird was a vital part of our family. And on the day that my mother fell and had a terribly broken leg and was taken away in the ambulance, Lady Bird saw. She stood and she watched her grandmother leave. And even as my mother convalesced with her after surgery for her leg, every time I would talk to her, she would say, "How is my puppy?" So on a wonderful day, we took Lady Bird to see my mother. As I mentioned, she was not a beautiful dog. She was a little intimidating, but as all the residents gathered around to see Lady Bird, she lay there like the center of attention with her head up on my mother's knee. And one lady said, "You know, that's the prettiest dog I ever did see." And of course, we know she was beautiful. That beauty was on the inside. And several months later, Lady Bird once again witnessed our sad family as we gathered for my mother's funeral. Mother never did regain her strength after the terrible fall she had. But this morning, once again, this very morning, our family gathered to bury a loved one, Lady Bird. And through my memories, I can still see her large brown eyes, that gentle love she had for me and for my entire family. And I know by my faith that this morning my mother stood by, watching for her puppy, watching for her Lady Bird. And there was a glorious homecoming as the pearly gates swung open. And my mother welcomed home her good and faithful friend. Thank you very much. I've enjoyed being here tonight.